it just made me think of someone getting fucked with like a machine robot dildo, but he also has a hand and is slapping him on the ass.
Right. Okay. I see that. No, I see that. Anyway, so big Harry Potter guy. So you've been playing the new Harry Potter game, transphobic, nice.
Well, technically, it's called Hogwarts Legacy. And yeah, I guess, a very, 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 very small minority of people that are extremely loud on the internet hate it for, really not great reasons.
Yeah,
but here we are. I'm not like
fans.
live streaming it.
Yeah, true. That would be very bad.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you guys ever worry that AI is going to take over our podcast? Like, do you think somebody could just make an AI version of this, or would it?
I think I think the AI version of you could take over. Like, you could be.
If they make an AI version of me, I hope he has a bigger dick.
If somebody tried to make an AI version of this podcast, it would just be like three of our voices, like me, likey, gay sex, 7 out of 10, hip hop, Jim, Lizzo, fat, gay sex.
We gotta cut that.
Yeah, we have to cut that. That would be the whole fucking podcast. That would be awesome.
Can we outsource our podcast to AI and then still blow up and pretend like we only know our close friends and family?
We should definitely try that. I was thinking, like, I bet if we hit like 100 episodes and let an AI listen to 100 episodes, we could put out one and not tell people if it was AI or not, and have them guess if it actually was. I bet it'll be that good. They've been doing some crazy shit with AI, dude. Like,
could it mimic our voices? Is that a possibility?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the Joe Biden videos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It would be fucking awesome. And then once that's the real goal. Once we hit that, we just let AI do everything and just sit back and collect checks. That's it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are your hosts, Blake, Christian, and Trey. And this is Totally Biased Music. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The gang is back together. Trey, how did your transition surgery go?
Blake, I took some time off. I spent some time in therapy. I really reflected on our purpose and our mission statement. And what I decided was our new mission statement should be just to be as aggressive as possible with each other, because that's what people really want to hear. People, Stephen A. Smith versus Skip Bayless, right? All those ESPN shows. They just want to see people fight.
Well, they broke up Skip and Stephen A.
Yeah, but then they got Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. And it's like pretty much the same thing.
It is pretty much the same thing, except... No, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
It's the exact same fucking thing, yeah. Except it's on Fox.
Okay, well, that's one attitude to have. Well, it's good to have you back. We missed you last week. Real quick, before we launch into our actual album, just what did you think of the 2 Skrillex albums? Did you enjoy them?
I did. I liked the second one a lot more than Christian did. And I think maybe even a little bit more than you. I liked how chill it was, but I mean, I think that Quest for Fire is an instant classic. Probably listened to it like 7 or 8 times all the way through. First time I listened to it, I was driving through the streets of Miami, had my windows down,
perfect,
bumping it. I was a killer in the jungle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice.
It was the type of beat that was going rat-tat-tat-tat, like, all the references.
Okay, 2 song references is probably enough. That's probably good. You can call it there.
We'll just call that. But yeah, no, I thought it was really good. Very, very proud of Skrill Dog for coming back with a vengeance.
Nice. Hell yeah. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about Pure Heroine by Lorde. Quick Apple Music intro. At just 16 years old, New Zealand pop singer Ella Yellick O'Connor, DBA Lorde, captured the top of the pop charts with the smart and wise beyond her years single Royals, where she trashes modern pop and hip-hop's obsession with materialism in favor of a world, love, friendship, and ideas. It's the best Morrissey song he never wrote. Morrissey song he never wrote. Whoops. Her earlier The Love Club EP primed audiences for what they'd be hearing, but nothing could prepare one for the actual excitement of her debut album's best cuts. Lorde's co-conspirator, producer/writer Joel Little ensures that songs like Tennis Court Ribs and Buzzcut Season never lose their way. This is sharp, inspired pop music that knows how much fun it can be to play up, to type, and then spin things on their heads for a new conclusion. So, this was my pick. I picked it because I used to run this album into the ground religiously when I was in college. I know it came out a little bit before that, but I really went back into the album, I think my sophomore year of college. My friend Colin, who I lived with at the time, actually texted me and was like, hey, you guys should do this album, because we used to listen to it together all the time. So I love everything about this album. I think it is very much, like they said, she's very wise beyond her years, which we can get into later in this album. But there's a lot of songs that hit home, I think, that change meaning depending on what age you are and where you are in life, which I think is great. So I just really enjoyed the album. So Trey, what were your thoughts on re-listen?
On re-listen, first off, I didn't realize how short this album is. It's like only 37 minutes, which makes sense because I remember just listening to it on repeat and letting it just kind of like start over, just sitting. I have this album. I think I actually still have the CD cover sitting over in the corner of my room over there. Loved it when it first came out. It was a breath of fresh air kind of for pop music, if like alternative pop music. Like that Apple intro said, it was almost like a rejection, like from the subject matter. It's kind of like a rejection of what like pop music's typical subject matter is, which is a lot of fun. And then the production behind it is super luscious. We can get more into that once we get into songs. But I really, really enjoyed it. On re-listen, it sounds like it could have been made yesterday, which makes sense because a lot of pop music, including the heavy hitters like Taylor Swift and I think even like Lana Del Rey, were really inspired / their record companies saw how well this album sold and decided they wanted to make music that was similar.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice. Christian?
I don't know if I just missed the Lorde era or if that just never caught my radar, but this was just never something that I listened to outside of the popular songs that she released that I feel like everybody blasted when she kind of started to become popular. So this was kind of like a first listen for me, and rinsed it 5 or 6 times over the past few days, and it just doesn't do much for me. As far as, and maybe it would have had a bigger impact if like I listened to it religiously like y'all did at the time, or came across her music at that specific time. For me, like I get the introspectiveness of her lyrics and the kind of turning pop music on its head a little bit as far as what she's saying. Her voice just like, it's just kind of meh. It's not like great to me. What I do love is when she layers like her voice kind of on top of itself. It sounds so much more beautiful. The production is something that I kind of had to like pick a little bit of a bone with. It's like this, it's extremely minimal, but there are parts of it that I just fall so much in love with. And then it's like every song kind of becomes this like anthem, this like anthem-y thing. And it's just like one of my biggest pet peeves that I just don't like. And then towards the end of listening to this, I came across that SNL skit where they're all talking in the like California bit where they're all talking that, and she almost sounds like she sings in the way that like annoying California people talk.
Okay.
All right.
All in all, and once that happened, I couldn't unhear it. But all in all, like they were pieces that I fell in love with, and just as I fell in love with them, it was like they were kind of pulled from me, and it was like this anthem that was kind of thrown in my face. Where I was like, God damn it! But I enjoyed the listen. The fact that it is so short made this extremely enjoyable, and you kind of pick those things out, and I kept going back to those. So
nice. Yeah, she one thing I like about her is like I don't think she has like a super unique or phenomenal voice. Like I think she has a good voice, but it's not something that is, especially now, a lot of I feel like female artists tried to mimic her sound, kind of like Trey said, one thing I like about Lorde is she's not an industry plant. Someone like Billie Eilish is like a classic industry plant. Like her parents, I think they're deep within, like, they work in Hollywood. I don't know exactly what their jobs are. Like Taylor Swift is Taylor Swift. Like Lorde kind of came up and made her own successes, which I think was really cool. And this album, while her voice may not be like the most phenomenal voice, she has genuine lyrics in here that I think for a 16-year-old, which is when she wrote it, are way ahead of what a 16-year-old would be writing about. It reminds me a lot of like when Nas released his first album, and he was, I think, 19 at the time, and he was way ahead of what you would think a 19-year-old would be rapping about. So it was similar in that aspect to me. So total sales as of now, 4 million. So quadruple platinum, which is crazy. It was on New Zealand's, like, it went, I don't know how New Zealand does their record sales. It was like triple platinum in New Zealand within like 2 weeks or some crazy shit like that. And then it ended up blowing up in the States. So yeah, there's a ton I like about it, but let's get into favorite songs. Trey, if you want to start us off.
Yeah, and I do kind of want to comment on what you said about her being like 16 and it like being ahead of, you know, what a 16-year-old would talk about before I get my favorite song or sing about or write about. It is, but at the same time, like it's almost like a quintessential, like it's like defining for people of that age. You know what I mean? I don't really know how else to like describe
no,
it.
I get it.
Like it's very, like, it sounds like something like she's singing about things like a 16, 17-year-old kid are like thinking about, but like kind of on like a next level. Like your super like wise friend that like smokes weed. He's like the first guy in your group to smoke weed. Like that's Lorde.
Yeah. That's definitely Lorde.
Yeah. The problem is those guys never grow up and they just keep being 16 years old smoking weed and they become Michael Minert.
Right.
So top songs. So I put 400 Lux. These are in no particular order, really. I think 400 Lux is probably the best production on the record. It's super, super luscious. They have that little line about like, we'll wear long sleeves and the heat's on. You buy me orange juice.
Yeah, I love
which
that
I
lyric.
like. Yeah, it's like that's what I'm talking about. Like that's what like a little 16-year-old kid riding in a car with the windows down for the first time.
Yeah.
I put Ribs as one of my top 3 as well. There's like this really cool, like Christian was talking, like the layering of the lyrics. There's like a floating, like almost like a floating harmony that would just like kind of come in and out at different points in the track that I really enjoyed. And then I put White Teeth Teens. I think that's probably like I don't know, like the defining song of the album or one of them. I think the drums are really cool in it. It's kind of like this like rolling drum that like kicks in like at various parts throughout like the bridge of the track. And it uses like negative space really well, almost like 9 Inch Nails does, which is like a weird comparison.
Super weird comparison.
Yeah, super weird comparison. But like 9 Inch Nails like uses negative space in music really well. And I think that song does kind of a similar thing.
Nice. Fuck yeah, those are solid. I love all those songs. Christian, what about you?
So my number one is Glory and Gore. It starts out with, there's a humming in the restless summer air and we're slipping off the course we prepared, but in all chaos, there's calculation. I was like, boy,
yeah,
all right. This is a Christian
lyric right there, baby.
Yeah, 100%. The second is A World Alone. I really love that song. And then Team, kind of similar to what Trey was saying. It's that layering harmony. And when she does that, her voice sounds just so phenomenal when it's layered up like that. And so Team is my third favorite. Honorable mention Royals, because it's a goddamn bop. I don't give a fuck who you are.
I'm fucking
hate that as much as you want.
Song. I'm shocked you like that song.
It's a bop. He's not wrong.
It's just like a guilty pleasure one. Like if it wasn't the pod, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, Royals is sick, like out in public. But like, am I in the car like fucking popping out to that song? 100%.
It's like the most campy, as Trey would say, like campy poppy single song on the album for sure. Yeah.
This whole album is kind of like a guilty pleasure album, though. Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So top songs for me, Tennis Court. So this is in no particular order until the very end. My favorite song, I'll tell you guys. But so I had 4 because I couldn't narrow it down. But Tennis Court, I love. Ribs, kind of for the same reason Trey said. I love Ribs, and I love the lyrics in Ribs. I think her lyricism shines in Tennis Court and Ribs really well. Buzzcut Season, I'm surprised you guys didn't mention that. I like Buzzcut Season a lot. Just
I didn't mention it because it's in my bottom.
Okay, word. But
it would have been an honorable mention for me, Blake. Continue.
Thank you, Trey.
You're welcome.
And then best song on the album, Glory and Gore. Like, without a doubt, favorite fucking song on the album. And Christian already harped on the beginning lyrics, but there's a bunch of good lyrics, and I like she does this breakdown towards the end of the song, and it starts with no one around here is good at keeping their eyes closed. The sun's starting to light up when we're walking home. And then she does this thing when she sings it where she goes, tired little laughs, gold lie promises. And the way that she like bounces with the song when she says that line is really great. But then she ends that little basically aside with, we'll always win at this. I don't ever think about death. It's all right if you do, it's fine. Which I think is like, I love the lyric in and of itself, but as like a teenager, especially when you're in this weird transition phase, you're going to have friends that are kind of coming into their like existential crisis. And I think she just hits it perfectly with like, all right, I don't ever think about death, but if you do, then that's fucking on you. So I just love everything about that song. I think it's really fucking good. So
we about to start talking about death on this podcast.
Say what?
We're about to start talking about death on this podcast.
Yeah, and so with that transition, I'd like to talk about dying. So
the fog is coming. The
fog is here, brother.
The fog is here. Actually, the East Coast. That's why Trey looks like he's like backed into a corner with one lamp on. He's like in his basement hiding from the fog.
It's terrifying. It's out there.
Okay, bottom tracks. Trey, what do you got?
All right, so you're not going to love this, neither one of you, but my first bottom track I have is Glory and Gore.
You're an idiot.
And, you know, I do think the lyrics are honestly, it was hard for me to pick bottom tracks for this whole thing, so I will say that. I think the lyrics are tight and everything, but, like, it sounds like a diet Lana Del Rey. It's just like, yeah, dude, I don't vibe with it. It's just a little slow and, like, it's just not for me. It doesn't have the things that make this album like great. Like it's a good song, but it's not great. One of my other bottom threes, and this is just because it was played every fucking where, every fucking moment of every fucking day, is Royals. Really surprised Christian put that as top 3, but you know, like it just was just beat over your head. You walked into a taco shop, Royals was playing. You walked into the strip club, Royals was playing. You walked into your friend's house, Royals was playing.
But when you walked into the strip club, it was Royals chopped and screwed.
Right? Yeah. Mashed up with the Usher, remix.
Yeah.
And then my other bottom track, and this is actually a song I didn't enjoy. The other two I like. Is Still Sane. I think it's just kind of overly simple. It almost feels like filler, and in an album that's so short, filler is kind of like entirely unacceptable. So that song I actually think is bad. The other two I like, but I would just put it in the bottom 3.
Trey just hit Lorde with this is an unacceptable song. not even bad or like not just enjoyable. Unacceptable. That's how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Christian, what do you got?
So my first one is White Teeth Teens, and that's going to follow with Buzzcut Seasons. And it's just because, like, again, I think it would mean more to me. These songs I'd like more if I listened to them kind of when I was younger. But now it's just kind of like, okay, like I rode the bus, my knees were up. Like, you don't have to remind me of the hard life I lived. Like, you know.
Right, when you're on the street.
Right. Yeah, riding the bus is tough. You're right.
Riding the bus
yeah. Y'all try to act like you rode the bus, but your parents picked you up.
Hell no, I was on Coach Stamps' bus. That shit sucked.
Actually, Reed Bright picked me up. Shout out, Reed. Thanks.
Shout out, Reed.
And one of those songs has this like slapping in it, and it sounds like someone's like a fake spank sound. I don't remember which one it was, and it drove me crazy the whole fucking time. It's either White Teeth Teens or Buzzcut Seasons. I don't know.
Would you have liked it to sound like a real spank?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was too 808 spank.
Gotcha.
Too electronically based.
Right.
And then
right.
It just made me think of someone getting fucked with like a machine robot dildo, but he also has a hand and is slapping him on the ass.
Right. Okay. I see that. No, I see that.
So in the background, I just heard that squawk.
I'm out. I'm done.
I just have to take a second to appreciate. Well, you have one more song, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Finish up.
Yeah.
Squawk.
Wait, Trey, I gotta point this out. Can you see how hard Christian is trying to make us realize he's a fingernail paint guy now? Like,
dude, he's always trying to flex that shit.
Yeah, like he was
What is
on
that,
me.
baby blue?
He was on me about the rings,
yeah.
but now he's like, ha 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 ha, like covering.
I don't know. Now that he holds it up to the camera, it's kind of cute.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, this isn't the aggressiveness I talked about. This is too nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
making fun of him. I was making
You're
fun
right.
of him.
That's
You were
my bad.
right.
You're right.
You
That's
got a
my
stick
bad.
in your
That's
mouth.
my
I
bad.
see
That's my
it. All right, Christian, what was your other bottom song?
The last 400 Lux, she does this like little talking monologue like halfway through, and I fucking can't stand it.
Okay.
That's because
That's
you
it.
never had someone buy you orange juice, dog.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, I pulled a Trey here. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to get out in front and say this right now. I like this album too fucking much. I love this album, all right? So it was hard for me to do this. So I landed on one song, and that's Royals. Only because, like Trey said, they ran this fucking song into the ground, and it is so campy. I don't even know what campy means, and I know it's campy. Like, that's how campy this song
They
is.
played it at every camp is the thing.
Literally. They played it they put it in the Wet Hot American Summer soundtrack. That's how campy it was. So that was the only song that I put in the bottom.
You roast me every time I do this, so I just got to say, like, come the fuck on.
I know. It's not fair, Trey. It's not fair, but I listened to it like 2 more times.
Stop the vote. Stop the vote. Stop the count.
I was like, I have to pick 2 more songs. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So yeah, that's all I had. I realized upon listening, because like the first time I listened to it, so it was 2013. I was on my way out of high school. And then the second time I got really into it, I was halfway through college, and then now I'm re-listening to it again. And you did kind of like sum it up really well, Trey. Like, it is really kiddish in a lot of ways. Like, it is what you would expect a teenager to write songs about. But I think what differentiates what she did on this album is it stands the test of time like no other pop album that I have listened to. Granted, I don't listen to a ton of pop music, but I think it just like withstood the test of time so well, whereas like each phase of my life that I listened to it in, there was something else that I took from it, or a different lyric that meant a lot to me, or that I kind of resonated with in a different way. I think that's what makes this album so special to me, is like I don't really ever get tired of listening to it. Like, I think there will always be a phase of my life where there's a song or a lyric or something that I really like on it. So that's kind of where I am on it.
Man, you just kind of waxed poetic on that on this album. One might say.
Oh, the AI would also say that, wax poetic.
Yes, absolutely,
for sure. We try to squeeze that in any chance it got. It would be the Christian voice, like Lizzo bad and fat, and then there would be a pause, and it would be wax poetic in Trey's voice.
We gotta run this AI thing.
Okay, Rolling Stone gave it a 4 out of 5 upon its release. It says new artists in 2013 don't come any 2013ier than Lorde. Lorde is 16, but she could be 25. She sings tough and raps soft. She's from New Zealand, but she could just as easily be from Tampa or Glasgow or Durban, some Eastern European city or country. On her debut, she's a tiny life teenager and a throne-watching pop comer with a sound that relaxes, that recalls the internet hip-hop of Kitty Pryde, the cold storage torch pop of Lana Del Rey, and the primal self-dredging of Florence Welch, while still sounding strangely sui generis. I gotta start reading these things, man. I don't know how to read words. I'm starting to realize
you need to learn how to read.
Yeah. Maybe the internet raised us, or maybe people are jerks. She muses on a world alone. She's a child of the cloud. So 4 out of 5 from Rolling Stone. And then Pitchfork gave it a 7 out of 3. I mean, not a 7 out of 3, a 7.3. Am I drunk?
3 out of 10. Yeah, dude. What's going on?
I don't know, man. On her debut album, 16-year-old New Zealand singer-songwriter Ella Yelich O'Connor, a.k.a. Lorde, has fashioned herself as a correspondent on the front lines of elegantly wasted post-digital youth culture and working-class suburban boredom. Pure Heroine is a collection of throbbing, moody, and menacing pop. With that being said, Trey, what do you rate it, my guy, out of 10?
First off, Christian, you want to go and make a comment about Blake using the word throbbing?
No, I don't. I love it.
You know, okay, cool.
Okay.
I was just curious. Out of 10, okay, so I'm going to give this a very solid 7.5 because at the end of the day, it is still pop music, which, you know, I don't like always hate on, but it's nothing like super, you know, progressive. It didn't like do anything super crazy. But I still think it's really enjoyable. I think it's aged very, very well. And, you know, Lorde hasn't really done jack shit since this. So,
well, she's released 2 albums, but I get
yeah, but they're not good. They're not good at all.
They're not bad.
I mean, how many times do you listen to them? Can you tell me what they are without looking at it right now?
Melodrama is one of them.
I knew that was one of them. Okay.
I don't know the other one.
Yep. See, boom, done. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Final answer, Regis.
Okay, Christian, what do you got?
I'll give it a lukewarm 6. There are pieces of it that I like. It's poppy. It's just, but it's not there for me. And she looks like a rat. I don't know how else to say it.
All right, you know, like
6 is how people describe having sex with Christian.
Like, it wasn't awful, but it could have been a lot better had he paid more attention to me. You know,
I could just tell he was lukewarm.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
I'm a giver. Y'all don't know nothing about me.
Like,
I'm a straight giver.
They're like, he looked in the mirror a lot, which I thought was weird, but I kind of let it slide.
Yeah, like he kept taking selfies, but it was like just him.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell me you don't do the same. If there's a mirror in the room, you're looking at yourself. Fucking come on.
Why are you talking like you're from fucking New Jersey?
Hey, I'm walking here. Come on.
Hey, I'm fucking here.
Hey, I'm fucking genderqueer over here. Hey. Okay, well, listen, I don't care how much fucking hate I'm gonna get from this.
Give it a 10.
I don't give a shit. I don't care if it's from y'all. I don't care if it's from
I'm hanging up if it's a 10.
It's from the avid listeners of the pod. Doesn't matter who comes at me. This album is a fucking bona fide 10. Totally biased music 10. Stamp it. Fucking run it.
Hey, don't put our names on this.
It's a 10 out of fucking 10. I have no qualms with this album. I have nothing to gripe about. I like every fucking song. I think it's beautiful. I think the production's awesome. And you know what? 5 years from now, you guys will listen to it again and you'll realize, you'll be like, Blake was right. He was just 5 years ahead of me. Just like I always am. Just like I fucking always am. And you know I was
going to show you some respect till that last line. And be like, hey, I'm proud of you for really sticking your guns here. You love the album. It's your pick, that type of stuff. But you're not always right. You definitely won't always be right 5 years from now.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll take the compliment where I can get it, which is what I'm taking that as. So, yeah, 10 out of 10. If you haven't listened to it, listeners of the pod, go listen to it again. And you know what? Shoot me a text. Bang my line. let me know who you agree with more. I know it's not Mr. 6 over here, but I can see you being 7.5. You know, that I'll understand.
Thank you.
Okay. Any final thoughts? No?
I think it's a good pick. I do want to say that.
I appreciate that.
Solid
I
pick.
appreciate
Nostalgic.
that.
I enjoyed re-listening to it a handful of times. So, yeah.
I disagree, but, you know, it makes sense. Your music taste is average, and it consists mainly of hip-hop and pop music, so here we are.
Okay. I don't really listen to pop music, but that's fair.
Coming from the gut there.
Christian's only way to like mentally comprehend somebody disagreeing with him is just immediately be mean about it. Like there's no other
That's
way.
Why y'all are friends. You're the same fucking person.
Why do you think all of my relationships have ended?
Okay.
There's a lot of other factors that go into that we do not have nearly enough time for here on this podcast.
Nope,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
So we're gonna go into Rides or Dies now, and listen. Apparently, I was informed recently that the last Rides or Dies you couldn't hear. I don't fucking know, man. I'm supposed to be a tech guy. I'm not really a tech guy. I had a migraine when I was editing the episode last week, so I'm gonna try it again. If it doesn't work, if it doesn't work,
relatively no computers.
If it doesn't work, I will edit it in post so you guys can actually hear it. So I'm hoping this works. We'll start a Christian song. Christian, tell us a little bit about your song, my guy.
So,
sorry.
Whoa.
Sorry. Whoa.
So this was part of a new EP that Duffrey put out, which I've listened to some of his stuff, but not extremely familiar. Feel and Avoid, I'm a little bit more familiar with, and I think David Fair actually sent me this when it came out, and this song, Jazz Habits, baby. I mean, it is a fucking bop and a half. It comes in, it gets you nodding, and then about halfway through, you're ready to fucking kill somebody.
Okay.
All right, let's give it a ride. Okay, very nice. Trey, what do you think?
This whole EP slaps. It's fantastic. It's probably Duffrey's best work. Most of the EP kind of slides towards like a hip hop type feel. But this song, you can really tell when Avoid like kind of comes in more towards the end, where it gets like a little like some like alien sounds going on. This whole EP rides. This is probably, I would say, a great pick out of the EP. Christian, this is probably the best song on the EP. So yeah, I'm going to give this one a hard rides. I've listened to it several times already.
Oh yes,
nice. I think I've used this analogy before, and I'm going to use it again because I don't fucking care. This is like if Tipper were good, and that's why I like it. It fucking is crunchy. It's weird. It's alien-like. There's some bass in here. There's a little bit for everybody, you know? And I just like shit like this. So, I mean, it's a vibe. It's a rides, Christian. I'm mad impressed. Yeah, this isn't, the type of electronic music that I normally lean towards with all of its like crunchy weirdness, but I do enjoy it. So do you guys want to talk a little bit more about the EP, or are you good calling it there?
I feel like the sound design. Yeah, I feel like the sound design for it is just, I don't know. You hear a lot of artists put out like music similar to this, whether it be like neuro bass or whatever, which this kind of has like odes to towards the second half of this song specifically. But this does what I love about this kind of music so well, whereas sometimes with this kind of music or this type of genre, or even with neuro or even like Tipper-esque artists, it gets just a little too far for me. And I think where some people find that they love that more, I think this makes things a little bit more listenable, but that's just my take on it.
I would agree. I think Honeysuckling is another good example on this EP that kind of rides that same line. But yeah, I think this, I mean, you can tell he put a lot of work into this. This is definitely my favorite Duffrey project out so far. He's opening
Yeah.
for Daily Bread on the new Daily Bread tour, which is kind of weird because like he's a lot better than Daily Bread. And Daily Bread's kind of just derivative Pretty Lights, but hey, listen, Blake, did you get to listen to EP at all?
I did not. I do like that you're throwing strays out to Daily Bread right now, just catching strays for no fucking reason.
Daily Bread. Fuck Daily Bread, dude.
He kind of fucking sucks, and the only thing he's done to stay relevant is like try and make his music like other artists, like harder and stuff, instead of like exploring sound in a way that any artist should. And it's fucking embarrassing, honestly.
So many people like him; it drives me insane. It makes my.
I don't understand. Yeah,
that's like me with Humphreys McGee. It's like,
hey, Humphreys is awesome.
I will be listening to the EP though. Also, I just got a shout out to Duffrey. That is the artist, right? Yes, Duffrey.
Mm-hmm.
Legend of the Alley Cat. Great album title.
Great. Yeah.
Great album
title.
Agreed.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the album art with
album art is fucking
cat.
great. Really like it.
Is Pam the Alley Cat? Is this EP about Pam?
It really is, dude. Did it drop recently?
It dropped this week.
Dude, this is about Pam.
That's where she was.
Dropped
the
day she disappeared. Yeah.
It was her anthem. She went to put the final master on it before it released.
For those who don't know, Pam is Blake's cat that ran away last week, but has thankfully returned home.
Has returned. What?
She only ran away because they're physically abusive to her. So I just want to put that out for our listeners.
That was a big part of it, I think.
Yeah, the most spoiled animal probably on the face of the fucking planet came back like nothing had ever happened. Like, first off, shout out to Pam, made it through sub-zero temperatures to come back to us. So very impressive. All right, Trey, tell us about your pick.
All right, so I picked London by one Jermaine Cole, a.k.a. J. Cole, and Bia. I love Bia, by the way, and her little ad-lib, Bia, is really funny. Can you skip? I love it. She's Bia.
It sounds like something that should be in a, or like Super Smash Bros. Like,
it's exactly what it sounds like. It's like a Pokemon call. Blake, will you go to 2 minutes and 50 seconds?
2 minutes
there for about 20 seconds.
He hypes up Bia and then skips her whole part.
Skip your whole verse. Skip this whole verse. Yeah, run it from there.
They got no more bread, they're crummy. The same way that Mello was.
Hold on. Run it. 10 more seconds.
Gotta drop on the up, now I'm opportunistic. I like to shop in the district, comping this, comping that, I'm proper capitalistic.
There you go. I love that he like goes into this like British accent, like proper capitalistic, like, because the whole like theme of the song. But what did y'all think?
I fucking love this song. I've loved it for a while. You showed it to me at Bonnaroo, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think I did.
But the best part I thought that you're going to fast forward to is the Maybach tinted, excuse me, sir, but ain't that rented? I'm offended. Straight cash for my Benzes. We don't pay back interest. That part fucking, the way that he spits that is so clean. But the whole J. Cole verse, I mean, he steals the fucking song. But this is a hard ride. I love this song.
Yeah, I remember that you did. I just want to get a safe bet in here.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Take a week off when you come back. Bring some
right.
heat.
That was my exact my thought process. Christian, what'd you think?
All right. First off, Blake, you straight barred that, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like fucking dick hard, boy. Like, god damn, son. That just got me like hype as fuck. Okay. Yeah. This bitch fucking rides. Jake, look. To be a part, it is what it is. It's fine. It's really just an intro for that Mac Daddy, the J boy, to come in, sling that big dick around, and goddamn did he. That shit is so fucking hard. Rides.
Very nice. Very nice.
Nice.
So my song was Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill. So I don't listen to Meek Mill. I've tried. I don't know. It's just not for me. But Dreams and Nightmares is probably his most popular song. It's been aptly dubbed the Philly anthem. He is from Philadelphia, and this is long running in his discography. This is probably the only song that I know by him where I can like actually rap along to it. So I'm going to let it ride for a second. I'm going to fast forward to when it actually picks up.
Draw like I'm an artist.
Jesus Christ, sorry. What do you guys think? Trey's muted. Trey's muted.
Sorry. Christian, you go first is all I'm saying. Watch.
Yeah, this is just a no. I don't like it's a dies for me. I don't like Meek Mill. I don't like fucking Philadelphia. I don't like the way that he talks about Philadelphia. He makes Philadelphia worse by like talking about it in the way that he does. No.
All right, that's fair.
Okay, so the first half of the song, I also don't particularly care for Meek Mill in general, and I definitely don't care for Philadelphia because it's a dog shit city. But the first half of the song, I really enjoy. I think it's super gas. I like the slow intro. I think it like actually works pretty well. The second half is like kind of just regular ass Meek Mill, but it's still really hard. And I think like the beat going hard is really tight. I'm gonna give it a hard rides. I love the last line of the song. It's like it was something about that rollie when it first touched my wrist had me feeling like that dope boy when he first touched that brick. I'm gone. Like that's a bar.
Nice. That is a bar.
Like because I can't imagine the first time you ever put on a Rolex and it's yours. Like that feeling is just fucking amazing.
Yeah, that shit's gotta be cool as fuck. I mean,
Yeah.
when I first put mine on, I felt very similar to that. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I was 12. I don't really remember it that well.
Right.
But yeah, same.
It was me when I used the totally biased money that I haven't told you guys about. That's when I first bought mine.
That genuinely would not surprise me. It's like, yeah, we have 100 listeners. Like, no, we have like 5,000. Like, just rake it in cash.
Okay, so that was Rides or Dies. I will link the songs below, and if you couldn't actually hear the audio, I'll put it in post. So fingers crossed that I don't have to do that because it's a lot of fun.
Fix it in post.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we had kind of a weak segment last week, because we were kind of left on our own. We were left to fend for ourselves, and that was tough for Christian and I because Christian provided 0 tweets, so it was all on me. So
I don't have a fucking Twitter.
Just Google funny tweets. It can't be that fucking hard.
You have Reddit. It's all my shit I get from Reddit anyway.
So with that being said, it is the return of everyone's favorite segment, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to Trey's Terrible Twitter Takes. My name is Trey, and I will not be a sad boy host today.
He got the cheers, bro. He got the fucking cheers. Not even just the claps. That's how excited they are that he's back.
I can hear people yelling in the background. That's a live audience. When are we going to do that? We got to do a live audience show. All right. Yeah. So kicking us off, we have at $2 Beer, a.k.a. $2, which is his Twitter name, which is fantastic. He says, "Nice outfit, loser. 2001 called. Apparently something happened to the World Trade Center."
It just doesn't get old.
All right. It doesn't. It's a joke that never dies. Unlike, about 3,500 people.
Right.
All right.
Just like, unlike the passengers of Flight 97. Okay, so...
All right, so this is a couple tweets from this guy I really enjoy. His name's Dan White. Twitter handle is at Dan White. It's at Dan White, like spelled out AT. So he said, "Last night I watched an episode of Queer Eye where the guy admitted he hadn't been intimate with his wife for 5 years, and now he thinks of her more as a sibling, and their solution was he needed a guitar room and more patterns on his shirts."
I think it'll work.
Yeah. All right, this one is also from Dan White. He says, "Wow, thank you, Delta. My pilot just announced that I have a comedy podcast, and the whole plane applauded me and then let me deboard before a bunch of Marines." Which one day I think that might be us.
100%, bro.
100%.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, this one is from at Happy Hell, a.k.a. Hello Everyone. They said, "I had 2 periods a month for 3 months after being around vaccinated people at a casino." Which seems inaccurate.
At a
same,
casino.
though.
I like that, at a casino.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I got a handful more. Okay. So this one is a quote tweet from @InternetHippo, aka Mr. Bedtime. And the headline that they took a picture of is a handful of old perverts think you don't deserve a treat. And what they commented was anytime the Supreme Court is in the news.
That's accurate. That's very accurate.
And then we have a two-parter. This one is from @X21Poppy, aka Changy, and he says, announcement. We've been struggling how to tell people this, but after much counseling and the support of our loved ones, we think it is best to be honest. After taking a DNA test, my husband and I discovered we have the same biological father. And then his next tweet, he says, we were profoundly shocked, but after prayer and reevaluating our love, we've decided that we're going to stay together. Some would say it's incest. We say it's loving.
Shut the fuck up. That is not real.
It's real. It's from 6:25 a.m. on the 3rd of January in 2023.
And it's not a fucking joke tweet?
Nope. It's a real thing. They tweeted a picture of themselves and everything. They look fucking identical. They are identical fucking twins, basically.
Do they have kids? It's
two men. They can't. It's two men. They can't.
Oh,
have
it's
kids.
two men. Okay.
Yeah.
Still, though.
And then we have one last one. This is from the r/LSD subreddit, and the post is simply eating a steak is really hard.
I love that periodically on the LSD subreddit, there's just a guy that will post a picture of nothing and be like, what do I do?
Like a picture of the floor, and he's like, how do I get out of here?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I got one last one, and then we can talk about something else. So it's a picture just of a couple, and this is on Facebook, and the first comment is "lucky guy," and then the person says, "It's my dad. He passed today." And then the original person says, OMG, I'm embarrassed. I thought he was your man. I'm so sorry. He aged well. I just thought he was a little older than you. Again, I'm so sorry. I wish I was your man, but we live far apart. Maybe I can visit you where you're at. I need to lose weight first, though. It's up to you. I'm up for it if you are. I think you're really pretty. Faux reals.
Wait, did he spell reels with a Z or an S?
He spelled reels with a Z.
Yes, dude. Yes. That is the fucking exclamation point on the end of that.
It's
For
amazing.
reals. Very fucking good. Nice, Trey. Came back strong.
Thank you.
All right. I mean, we're at 46 minutes. You guys got anything you want to riff about? Anything you've been thinking of recently? Any funny bits you want to test out for maybe your type 5 or anything? Trey, any bits you've been working on? You want to preview?
I have been working on some bits. Been doing some open mics up here in Asheville. That's not true. That's completely a lie. But
had you said it perfectly and not said that, I would have believed you, actually.
Well, I've been thinking about it, but just been kind of busy. They call me two jobs because I got two jobs.
He keeps saying this, and then he's like, yeah, I put about 12 hours a day into Harry Potter Legacy. All right, well, which is it?
It can be both.
No, you know what that reminded me of, Trey, is when that Family Guy
Archer says that when Lorde tells Archer that he's drunk and he's like, I'm in love with you, and he's like, I can be both.
No, I was thinking of when you were saying that you've been thinking about doing an open mic when Chris was talking to Carl in Family Guy, and he's like, wow, you were almost in a dirt bike race? And he's like, yeah, I filled out the paperwork and everything.
Speaking of Family Guy / South Park, why are we not going to talk about the I Am Lorde bit that South Park ran? Have you ever seen that episode?
Yes, I love that episode because I didn't know if I could find just the clip of I am Lorde, I am Lorde, I am Lorde, because he does it a lot.
He does.
Have you been watching the new season of South Park?
No, I haven't.
So
I've had sex before.
They did an episode.
So I don't really watch it anymore,
Okay, that was weird. What you can't watch adult animated shows? You're too good for that? You're too mature for that now?
South Park specifically. It's just it's a little played out.
Nah, man, false and wrong. But there was an episode.
That's the title of this episode.
False and fucking wrong.
Nah, false and wrong.
There's an episode recently where they're making fun of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and they're just going around the world, like going to different shows, like holding up signs that are like, "We want privacy. Stop talking about us." But they're like going to different shows to tell people they want privacy.
It's amazing.
So they moved to South Park and they put like a banner on their house. It's like, "We want privacy," but they're always shooting fireworks and like playing drums in the driveway and shit. It's really funny.
I'm very ashamed that I watched every single episode of that Netflix documentary, and watched it too. Didn't play on my phone while I was in the background.
What Netflix documentary?
The Meghan Markle, Prince Harry documentary.
They have a whole ass documentary?
Bro, it's like 5 episodes long. And the worst part is I came away from it and I was like, man, I kind of feel bad for those fuckers. And then I was like, oh wait, they're massive billionaires who are just kind of huge pieces of shit.
What is it about? Is it about them being sad because people talk about them?
Yeah, it's about them. It's actually kind of fucked up, the whole situation. You should watch it or don't. I don't know. I'm still confused.
I can't tell if I hate them or if I'm on their side.
I really, dude. It's a conflict.
That's like me with the libertarians. Every time I hear a libertarian talk, I just want to be like, "You're such a fucking idiot." But then they're like, "Weed and guns are cool." Like, that is true. Weed and guns are cool.
And you reel me back in.
They're kind of
You're like,
spitting right
damn,
now.
Ron Paul's kind of tight. Rand Paul, not that tight.
Not that tight. Yeah, we could talk about The Last of Us. Did you guys both watch the episode?
I think we should do it after the next one.
Yeah, because the next one's going to be better, and this one was okay.
It was just there.
Yeah, it was just you knew what was going to happen the whole fucking time. So it was just all right, cool. Somebody get bit.
Yep.
Well, I didn't.
Let's move this along.
I didn't know that was going to happen until. Well, I guess it is pretty early when she's like, "Who's Marlene?" and then you realize it's a flashback because they don't tell you that to begin with, and you can't really tell. And then she says that, and it's like, oh, okay, now I know where this is going. I mean, it was cool to get some backstory, but the next episode is going to be fucking nuts.
True.
Okay. Well, if you guys don't have anything else, I guess that about does it. We spitballed for about 4 minutes, so get on us. Look at that, bro. Everybody always talks about how hard improv is.
Easy.
Not for us. Fucking pussy bitch. All right.
Jesus, who's that directed towards?
You know who I'm talking to. All of the haters. Oh, and by the way, you know what? If you hate Totally Biased Music, go ahead and tweet at Trey. You know why? Because I print out those tweets and I wipe my fucking ass with them. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've never gotten the chance to do it, but if I did, I would do it. So please direct all your hate to Trey's Twitter and he will relay those to me. Thank you very much.
At Swerville.
At Swerville. It is private, so he probably actually won't see them. So never mind. But okay, well, good talk, guys. Yeah. All right. Anything?
What, bro?
Dude, what?
I'm glad you're back, Trey.
Well, I was gonna bring up Christian's need to post his girlfriend's ass on Instagram.
I did think that was weird that he didn't include a caveat that hey, this is my girlfriend. It was just a video of a girl's ass at the gym. So it's
like obviously
riding a risky line. No, it's not obvious. It's not obvious at all.
It's obvious.
And also, is Ari okay with this? Does she know what you're doing, or does she see it after the fact? She's like, "What the fuck is this?"
I asked. And I had 2 videos. I had one of her doing lat pull downs because she was looking fucking ripped, and then that thing was thanging, and so I said, "Come on."
I said, "Come on,
come on."
And she was like, "Okay." She was like, "Only because it's you, and you're just how you are, and I have to deal with it."
I mean, I guess it's just kind of the consequence of being in a relationship with you.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just hyping you up on my Instagram. Are you kidding me? If we were together,
that's love,
and I was like,
honestly.
"Oh, yeah, come on."
Oh.
All right,
y'all hating
that's
on me.
enough.
I was expecting him to put a motorboat gif, a motorboat emoji.
He does love those gifs.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Wait, who's picking the next album? Trey? What's the next album?
I am. All right, so we got a couple options here. I want to do something classic. So here's what we're thinking about here. Either Led Zeppelin 4, Dark Side of the Moon, or Revolver by the Beatles.
Okay, well, you know what my vote is not going to be.
Right.
So my vote is definitely Led Zeppelin 4.
Christian?
Mine's Pink Floyd, so you can make the split decision on those two. How about that?
So it's like a real time decision, or is
Yeah,
like a
real
talk
time,
about
right
later
now.
Real time.
decision?
No, right
All
now.
right, you know what? Let's go and do Dark Side. Let's do Dark Side of the Moon.
All right, I can get with that.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks, guys. And
You could try and